Hello everyone, I am the Halfwit Brit and this is Manor Lords, and we have some news. Yes, some new features are coming. Thankfully, some new maps. Not that I'm kind of saying I'm tired of this map, but variety is the spice of life, and apparently, not that there's any dates being given yet, there are 2 new maps coming. I'll post some images on the screen here. We seem to have mountains, we seem to have rivers. No mention of the ocean or anything like that, or lakes. But I'm guessing, you know, we've got rivers. We're kind of sort of getting to that direction of different types of water sources, which is actually absolutely fantastic. Can't even get my words out there. And we've also got some new building upgrades. It doesn't really mention what building upgrades they are on or what buildings they apply to, but there is some more upgrades coming nonetheless. I'd still like to see a cart maker. I think I've mentioned this a few times. So obviously we can see the people pulling carts here, and then we have the horse-drawn carts, which is... Oh, actually it stopped just in time for us. We have these as well. So a cart maker would be like a fantastic addition, which would be one way of moving things around a little bit more efficiently, because as I've kind of seen in the past, people carrying stone, for example, carry stone in a little, like a wicker basket on their back. And I'm guessing, you know, 1, that's not comfortable, and 2, they can't practically carry that much. So that would be a nice feature, but I don't feel like that is one of the things we're going to get. However, there is some changes to the market system as well. It doesn't go into great detail again, but there is some changes about potentially restricting what goods you can have in the market stalls, and it also shows you kind of which houses are being supplied from them too, which is I guess a good thing. They've reworked the ale and the water system as well, I think, so you can see better where those 2 commodities are going. Now, you can obviously see someone here taking water, so they do go and collect water, and they do take it to their house, for example, but I guess it's just one of those little things just so we can kind of see what's going on. I think there's something else mentioned, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But there's a few things coming there. There's obviously a few bug fixes as well that will come along with that, and hopefully some nice little surprises that he's not actually told us about. Now, Greg did mention the fact that with people being a little bit more happier with the changes that he's making, it gives him an option to start looking at adding other features. There we are. And AI cities has been mentioned by people, and he's not said no to that. So potentially, when we go to conquer some of these other regions from the Baron, for example, there may actually be buildings in there. And I don't know if that means we can just straight take over those buildings, because that would be interesting. I think that's a little bit further down the line, but at least he's kind of looking in that direction. As for this current playthrough, obviously when that patch goes live, I guess that kind of leaves us in a bit of a pickle of a place, depending on how far into the future this patch release is. The question is, do we continue, or do we switch to a different map? And I'm inclined to say we try a different map. I'm assuming it won't break the saves with all the changes that are being added, but you never know. There's a good chance that we may actually get to where we want to be. To be fair, I could probably fairly confidently, bated breath, go and claim every region in this episode, I think. As long as we can get a manor in each of the, I think it's the 3 outstanding regions. Let me come out of this view because it won't let me do it. Yeah, so there's 3 regions left. We don't have a manor in Diddley Squat yet, but we'd only have to capture these and get a manor in there to get the retinue, and I think that would be game, set and match, assuming that I win the final battle. Now, I've only ever finished this game once, and I found it relatively easy. So, you know, it's possible. There has been a lot of changes since that time, so it's just, yeah, it's just something to think about, some food for thought. And just speaking of which, we don't have a manor in this region. I'm pretty sure I didn't put one in. We have the church, so let me see, because it will only let you put 1 manor. Yeah, so we didn't. So we could actually get this in. It'd make a little bit of sense, wouldn't it? We've got plenty of wealth. I guess the question is that as long as we don't put it on any barley, so this area could be quite nice. Flax, I'm not overly bothered about. Emma, we have. So I think, just sort of looking at it, we've got a couple of options. I guess we could put it over here. I like the idea of it being near the edge of a map, just in case somebody should come in. So possibly sort of just off the King's Road here. There's not a lot going on, like fertility wise. So I think we'll start with that. It would help if I remember how to play the game, hold down your mouse button. There you go. You get there. Now, one thing that I've not done is well, I say ever, I've not been putting on the fence, and I think that would make sense. It's not called a fence, it's just called a wall. We do need more planks, so we'll have to get some of that up and running, but that's in place. We'll give them a nice little path there as well. Perfect. Are we in the process of making planks? Woodcutter's Lodge, saw pit. There's currently nobody in there. And we do have 5 timber in storage, so we can work with that. We don't have an ox assigned. How many oxes do we have? There's only 1 unassigned. I'm going to venture a guess. Yes. Currently attached to my farms, which they don't need to be right now. So we will unassign those. We'll put 1 back in here. Perfect. Do we have one on the woodcutter, logging camp? We don't. We also have quite a bit of timber there. Let's have a look. 38. I'm going to leave somebody working there because there's no reason not to. Just looking at the burgage plots that we've got here, we could consider some other sources of food, because currently we have meat, I think. Yeah, meat. We have berries. We're going to have some amount of vegetables. I think it would probably make a bit of sense once we have some cash, which we currently don't because we're not trading for anything, that we get some more veggies in there. We are going to need more people. We're doing okay for food, so we could probably get away with adding some more burgage plots in. Just looking, yeah, these ones are all kind of sort of families in there. I don't know if some of these could have an upgrade by the looks to get the additional family, but I think what we'll do is we'll get some families just over this side. If I remember rightly, there was no barley fertility here, so we'll see what it'll let us do. And I might kind of give these a smaller back garden like so, and we'll get some hens in there, or chickens, whatever you want to call them. There we go. And I could probably do the same on the opposite side. I don't know if that will affect the windmill much, but I can kind of feel like I'm going to be doing mainly barley over here, a little bit of wheat. And we're also working on sausages over here, so we've got some burgage plots being built, and families are moving in slowly but surely. And we do have a hunting camp up there as well. Let's get a family in there, turn their market stall off because we don't want that. We're probably going to have more than 2 here in the long run, but we'll just keep an eye on it because there's a lot going on there. There's definitely plenty of meat. And if I remember rightly, did we change? Yes, the policy. So they breed twice as fast. Perfect. And actually thinking about it, we have trapping, so we need advanced skinning as well. That'd be a point worth spending. I think we were going to call this area currywurst as well. I'm assuming my German is not perfect. I think it's spelled that way. We will go with that. A currywurst is delicious. I highly recommend you try one. They are super nice. And I do love a bratwurst as well. So yeah, I like hot dogs in general, but I don't know. I feel like a bratwurst is somewhere between a hot dog and a sausage. Probably got better quality meat in it than a hot dog, to be fair. We're missing some ale over here to wash that sausage down. That's something else we've got a problem with. How are we doing financially? Not too bad. Can we afford another orchard? Not quite. Okay, that is an issue for another time. And over here now, we haven't done it yet. We do have the point for the orchards, don't we? So we could have gone with beekeeping. There's nothing on master armorsmithing we're not going to need. It'd be interesting to see if he adds any extra stuff to this. There's no mention of it. But we'll put our final point into apples, because why not? Which means we need some more burgage plots. Because I think the ones over here, albeit we could do some mini orchards. Well, actually, these ones are not too bad. But anyway, there's families living in them. Do you know what? They're not... Oh, that's got no back garden. That was clever. It's not a bad size. I do prefer to have a large sort of back garden for orchards, but considering they're already here, that makes a little bit of sense. I mean, how are we doing for food? 7 months. So yeah, I mean, it is that time of year. Food is a little bit scarce. We could go with some chickens here if we really wanted to. We could also go for more meat if we really wanted to do that as well. We have plenty of options, I think. Yeah, I'll just have a little think about it. I think once we have the cash, I think we may just put chickens in. We could have gone with a smaller back garden, but I think chickens make sense. We have access to meat over here. We have access to sausage, berries. We are going to have apples. We will get fish and bread. I think we're trading for some of those things. I'm losing track of where I'm up to. with regards to trade. I'm just looking at this little area here. We don't need more market space. And I've got my tavern over here. And I like it there, but part of me feels like it belongs here. I don't know if we've got a building that would make sense in this area. I mean, I could just fully go for burgage plots here. Potentially. Although, storehouse-wise, that one is almost full. Do with a few more people in there. And that one is pretty much full. Granaries are not so bad, but maybe a storehouse, because I'm absolutely awful with this. I always forget to put these things in, so maybe we could tweak the roads a little bit here, unless we can squeeze it in there. I mean, that would be super and fantastic and absolutely great if we could. Go on. There we are. I'll take that. We can live with that. I mean, if I delete one of those roads, I could probably get another one there, but I think for this one, we may focus the storage a little bit, so we'll look at things like, because we have butchers along here, and we have a tailors, cobblers, so we might look at things that we sort of need along here, as opposed to just everything. So we could go with things like salt, hide, could go with the flax, I guess, as well. I mean, a granary that just has meat would be fairly useful as well. I mean, I think most of the meat's in the market. That is one of the issues. I think I looked at that in our last episode. What are we trading in here? We got some ale coming in. Plenty of ale. Sending some sausages out, and we got some bread. Makes me wonder how Mintingham is getting on. I think we spoke about sheep, didn't we? We're going to have a sheep apocalypse. I think that's what we're going to do. I think we said this entire area here will up our sheeps. Where? Sheeps. I hate that word. Why do I always say it? I don't know. Let's get rid of this. I mean, there's two animals in there. We do have space, so it's not going to cause any issues. Let's get rid of this. Wait for the game to catch up. Wow. It's having a good think about that. There we go. Perfect. And we could do with removing all these roads. It's not really a major problem. How are we getting on with the hunting? Okay, they're starting to actually make some inroads into those animals there, which is a good sign. Logging camp, we're doing okay. We're not really making any timber, so I could probably take the people out of there for now, unless we decide later on down the line that we're actually going to build some more. But I don't think we are, because we did all these, didn't we? And I think we were adding... yeah, animal pens. Did we do all these? Because we want to produce as much meat over here as we possibly can. And then we can... to be fair, I could have them making sausages over here. They did have access to salt, or we can trade salt in. I mean, I think this is our most wealthiest of regions as well, currently. But yeah, I think this area here, what we'll do... I mean, I could do the fence up option, so I don't actually need to remove these fields. Which may be an idea. Let me have a quick look. Yeah. Let's, that one's already done. Oh, a little bit of a stutter, I think. So I think if the field is going to have barley on there and we're going to get a decent amount, I think we'll do that. We'll go with barley, but I've run out of planks. Just as we were speaking about that, we'll put an ox in there as well. But I think, yeah, for these, we'll switch them into fields. I mean, how are we looking here? 55, 42. Did I have another field? We do have that one there. It's 34. And we also have the one that's all the way over here by itself, which isn't quite full. I may remove that and get them over onto these fields. So we'll harvest those. We'll leave them fallow, apart from the ones that are going to produce barley. And we could probably do that on some of the other ones and just really build up our sheep. So I think if we go for slaughtering lambs, as horrible as that sounds, I think that could be quite lucrative for us with regards to meat production. Let's have a quick nosy in here. How are we getting on? Well, they are actually currently trading quite a bit. We probably need, just looking at what's going on here, we probably need more trading posts. That might be something that's worth doing. Storehouse, how are we getting on in there? I mean, that's not got a lot of goods in there, but I think we could probably do with a fair few in the long run, which this will be under you. Oh, wrong button. Why? I just push R for rotate. I mean, how long have I been playing this game now? You'd think I'd know. I might go with 2. This could make this little area a tiny bit busy, but I think we'll be fine. We don't have the population specifically. However, I think if we cut back on some of our fields, I think we'll be okay. Famous last words. I think we should, yeah, we'll probably be fine. I mean, just taking a look there, we have a lot of meat, 5 sausages. I can't remember if we were actually making sausages here or just trading them. Let's have a quick look. Having supply, that is an issue. So you are butchering and you are making sausages because we had some salt, didn't we, if I remember rightly? Yeah, we did. So they're starting to make their own sausages, but as long as the meats get into the middle region to Middleton, I think we'll be fine. Bread 900, that's fine. Flax, we're still processing barley. I find that's the most painful thing for me at this point. It's how slowly we sort of make malt. It's not the quickest of things, and I think I've got at least 3, maybe 4 buildings. There's one there. Maybe just, that's a weaver's workshop. Okay, and we got those 2 there. To be fair, actually, we have quite a bit of malts in them at the moment. I mean, I'm cussing them out, and I might be slightly wrong there, but we have obviously almost 700 grain there as well, which needs to be processed. So we've got 2 windmills that are basically... Oh, that's got no one in it. That's why nothing's happening. Let's put a couple more people in them ones, because they're not seemingly doing much. Waiting and transporting. This one, transporting. I could put another family in there while we do that. And we also need, because I just deleted it, the animal trade post, or the livestock trade post. It's not a very big building, to be fair. Where would be a good spot? I mean, if they're going to be here, somewhere in this area would make a bit of sense. We are pretty full. I think we might get away with it in here, though. Let's have a little jiggery pokery, maybe. No. Oh, come on. Oh, there we are. I'll take that. Perfect. And we'll just hook that up like so. Right, I've given quite a few things to do over here. We are in February, so a little bit of time before we get around to harvesting those fields. And over here, yeah, we did place a couple of orchards. We are a little bit poor, so we can't do too many. Yeah, I mean, this one's probably not worth it. I think it may be worth our while get some larger burgage plots in. And I'm just thinking, how steep is that? Will we get away with a couple of burgage plots just along here? Not enough goods. Well, that's fine. I can live with that, because I don't want that many houses. I probably want 2 or 3, maybe. We go with 2 and just have to, as long as these guys are not doing anything other than tending to those trees, I think that might be okay. We will have to do the upgrades to get the additional storage space, which was something we had an issue with in Saltburn. Let me just double check how we're getting on with that. So you're level 2, level 2. This one also, if we can do it. Yep, level 2. Come on. There we go. And you as well. So they should have considerable amount of apples being produced over here. And obviously the honey is just constantly doing its job. Did I just say I didn't have enough planks? Or timber? What was the issue? Ah, food. Okay. Not a problem. We can deal with that afterwards. And how are we getting on over here? So we do have some coin from all that firewood we sold. You are now built, so we will get some more veggies in here. So they've got at least 3 varieties. Well, they'll have 4 once we start doing some salt mining. What do we need to upgrade? We could do with a couple of level 2s. Now, if we're going to make sausages, we are going to need butchers. So the question is, do I run a road from there? And then if we just sort of swing that out kind of to there for now, and we could hook that up like so. And I think if we get a couple of houses in here that we can turn into level 2. In fact, they don't need that much space out the back, do they? Because as long as they've got the back garden, they should be fine. There we are. And we might do it with the double plots. I think that would work quite nicely. Let's get that done. And we'll stick you on a highest priority, because then we can have you as a butcher That's just making sausages because we already have the meat being processed. My goodness, they are churning through those animals a little bit quicker now. Yeah, so just having a look, we're not in like a fantastic place for food. We have quite a bit of meat and berries for the size of the area, but yeah, got to keep an eye on the berries. We could potentially get away with another forager over there, but we're going to get obviously vegetables, so we'll be fine. There's no need to panic at this point. We'll definitely be fine. We're currently building those as well. The manor, how are we getting on with that? Okay, so that just needs stone mainly, some planks. Surprised they've not done these yet, to be fair. Okay, our large storehouse has been built, and we have some salt in there already, so he was way ahead of me. So I'm going to turn some of these things. In fact, let's turn pretty much all of it off, because there's only specific things that I want in here. So we do want salt. What else do we want? Depends if I'm really bothered about the clothing side of things, and I'm not specifically. What else do we have? I mean, there's anything. Why is that it? Is that pretty much? I mean, we could put hides in there, I suppose, but I think we're not even producing that over here. Firewood would make a bit of sense because it's a little bit closer. Yarn, maybe. There's nothing else specific though that I think we need to store in here. And with the butchers being here, we could do, technically speaking, I think, with a granary. Let me just make sure the game's a little bit slower. Kind of here. But if they're only kind of focusing on the salt, that should make life a little bit easier for these guys to get access to it. So we'll just turn off salt on these other ones. Now, obviously, they have it currently. And I could technically put more people in here, but they can only deal with so much at any one time. So if we can kind of streamline our salt and sausage production, I think that will help quite nicely. We have a large storehouse over here as well, but no one's actually using it, so I'll get rid of that because it's just pointless. There's no point in it being there. I think the granary, on the other hand, we may be using. Yeah, oh my goodness, look at all that malt. Wait a minute. Now there is an issue. Could do with that being moved. Let's have a look at our granaries over here. So we've not got a lot in them. I don't think I'd particularly need to build another one. And with the breweries here, I think malt makes some sense there. Let's just kind of contemplate this for a second. So you guys don't need the malt. You don't need the ale. Meats we'll take from there as well. And sausages we'll take from there. I think that's about right. And then for this one, albeit they do have market stalls, so that could mess with things. We may need another granary after all. Let me just, well, yeah, let me just contemplate that. I think it may make a little bit of sense. Can I get one in? Oh, I can as well. I'd rather you not snap to that road specifically. Can we? Okay, if you have to face that one way, oh no, you can do that way too. The butchers and things are here, aren't they? And so are the breweries. So I think we'll go with that. We'll put you there. And we will also, again, turn off that from there. That one. Sausages and meat. Yes. Because I want them to get easy access to these goods. Because if there's some issue where there's kind of a... What's the word I'm looking, like a backlog, and there's too many things trying to access at one point, it's not going to work very well. And there's something I've noticed. I don't know. I mean, that's my opinion. I could be completely way off the mark. But I feel like if you have too many people trying to access a building, it just doesn't work very well. Let's have a look over here. I mean, to be fair, I mean, that's the only two things they've got. Which is a little bit bizarre. You'd think they'd have more. And this one's quite full. Yeah, we're overproducing some of our goods. So we could probably do with trying to sell some. How are we getting on with these fields? Not too bad. So these go from wheat. I mean, they're quite big fields, so I'm quite happy to leave them. I think some of these will definitely switch. Now, looking at this, we still have quite a bit of space. So we can currently store 194. So where is my animal trader? You are here. We'll put a family in there. In fact, we can afford to put 2 in there. And has this remembered my settings from before? It has. Excellent. So we don't want to import lambs. But we want to import sheep, and that's set to 150. So what we currently, I mean, it's saying we're at 90, but is that truthful? Yeah, it is. So that should bring more in. Perfect. Actually, I was just thinking about it. That's going to be more than we can actually hold, isn't it? So wait, they're behind. The current surplus is set to 50. So realistically, let me have a quick look in here. Oh, the meat surplus is set to 50, but we have 83. Interesting. Let me turn that off. Because that will mean then they will just... Oh. Wait a minute. So, that's what I was looking for, this one. So we don't want to save any meat. We'll just turn everything to sausages. I know why that surplus was there. That was so we had stuff to trade, but if they've got the salt over here, we may as well just use it. Having supply is really annoying. So we've set it to have 90 and 90. Which, yeah, I get why I've done that. Let me up the sheep to 150. And I know we're going to run out of pasture space, but he's going to warn me at that point and I can just fence up. Hopefully it won't happen before I can fence up one of these fields anyway. And we finally have our manor over in Diddley Squat. Now, obviously, we are going to need to build ourselves the garrison tower. So if we do that, he's probably going to tell me I've got no free livestock available. That's possibly a problem. We'll see what it says because I don't think I have. Let me just have a quick look. No, they're all assigned currently to ploughing duties, as you can see here. Which I think, to be fair, we could probably free one of them up. That's not a major issue. I'm just going to see, because it is April, I want to see how much these grow between now and harvest time and whether or not it'll be enough. It'll probably, I think it's, I don't know, I feel like 5% growth is sort of where it would be at before it gets harvested. But I'm also testing out the crop rotation thing here because I can never wrap my head around it. It seems simple enough. The way I look at that, when this changes, next year will be fallow, the next season should be barley. And then from the way I kind of see it, the one after that, the third year should then be fallow. But I have a weird feeling that barley is going to bunch up next to each other. But we'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, because I don't know. I feel like I've tried this before and I could just never wrap my head around it. It's simple enough, but I don't know. I'm making a meal out of it, basically. I just had a thought. I feel like I think I said 5%. I think it's 20% for the crop growth. So it'd be interesting to see how far along that gets and if it actually is anything worth harvesting. I mean, currently it's giving me this figure. This is for this year, obviously. But it'd be interesting. Hopefully it surpasses September. I may have planted a tiny bit too soon, but we'll kind of sort of see. We got a bit of a requirement for firewood here, but I think that's more to do with stalls than anything else, so we can drop another family in there and hopefully that will speed the game up a second. Nobody building a stall. Oh, there we go. And firewood, there we are. That will probably fix that issue. Now we go in on, oh, are we saving? Are we going to get attacked? What is it? A save. We'll take that one. It's much more simpler. So we're just waiting for people to move in over here. And then we'll be able to upgrade one of these, which then I'll start thinking about. Actually, do you know what? I'll put someone in there now. We'll start gathering some salt. Because I think starting to make some sausages over here would make a lot of sense. We have a fair amount of meat. We could definitely go for more hunters as well. So we got plenty of options there. And we are building the extension, which is almost done by the looks of it. Excellent. How are we going for these fields? They're not quite there. And sheep, if we come all the way across to Mintingham. Okay, so they're coming in slowly but surely. And some of these fields are getting very close to being harvestable anyway, if there is ever such a word. How are we doing for meat? 96, one sausage. I think ale is the main thing. I have a weird feeling I'm probably exporting a little bit too much. So we have the tavern. The malt house is doing its job. But then the brewery disabled. Idiot. I'm disabled. Oh, that's why. So we're sending most of our... Just ignore that ever happened. You didn't see anything. I know there would have been a reason behind me doing that at some point. It was probably to trade it back into this region. But yeah, you didn't see that. Completely ignore it. How much space do we have? We have enough space for 5. So we need 4 more horses. for these. So currently 6. That'll be 10. And we will just quickly... Oh, it seems we have actually some spare horses. Well, that's fine. We had a couple of spare. And we will just put one family in each because that is all we have currently. We will tweak some of these things. I think the pack stations will eventually vanish at some point. And we'll just go for pure money-based trade, albeit we are a little bit poor in Middleton. We need to start selling some things, I think. How is this not built? I've been waiting forever for this. This is what I'm on. The stone is in one of these builds. I think it's this one. It's just... And I have put more people in. It's just getting it to this building. That's seemingly the issue. Aha, finally. Right. Let's turn these off. So, what do we want over here? We want in here sausages, meat. We want the malt and the ale. And I think that is it. And I feel like I should probably upgrade the building as well. But let's see what that does for us first. If they get... In fact, how much meat do we have? 72, that's not too bad. And... Oh, malt, we have a lot. Okay, there we go. That'll take another year to get done. But at least we have some people in there. And now in June, so some of these fields will be getting very close. What's the percentage of growth on here? 11. Yeah, I think some of them have probably done just a tiny bit too soon. The other ones, I may get away with it. We may be okay. Just looking here, obviously we do have some malt. Now, did I build... I did build a malt house. Okay. So we can, technically, if we upgrade one of these to a level 2, we could actually start making some beer. Assuming... Do we... Pot level 2 low. We just about have the finances to do that. But how much does the upgrade cost? Okay, let's do that. Let's get that up and running, because then at least we can get some ale over here, which will kind of appease some other things as well. But again, I'm going to try and trade some of that stuff that way, and then from here we'll trade out. I don't know why I'm making it so complicated for myself, but I guess it just gives me that little bit of extra sort of things to think about. Now, obviously, the way Greg has set the game up is he doesn't want you just sending stuff for free. Each region is sort of an individual entity, so you do need to trade. But I'm trying to get everything here and trade outwards. Obviously, you know, in some sense that will work, in others it won't. But I want to do it because it just keeps me busy. It keeps me constantly trying different things. And I'm just waiting patiently for this. Well, as we hit middle of August, you can see all our fields are sort of ready to go. And let's just have a quick look. 36%. So yeah, I did plant them tiny bit too soon. However, it's no problem. They will harvest it if they have the time. Now I could, and I probably should, get them to harvest early, because they're not going to be able to harvest all of these fields in one go. I've probably given them a tiny bit too much to do, so I'll get them harvesting some of those. We do have one spare family. In fact, we go over here. Yeah, we've got these families over here as well. Now they can become temporary farmers for us. We've not got anyone else moving in. We can see there's a bit of an issue here with food supply and firewood. Ooh, have we got it? Yeah, saving. Thank you. So we just need to think about obviously getting more people in the granary and also the storehouse. To be fair, the malt house is going to be busy, but I might just take someone out of there. See, that didn't seemingly make much of a difference. What about in here? I'll put them in there for now. Forester's hut's fine, that's all working perfect. Excellent. What we want. Hopefully they'll start to harvest these things. And I have set it up in a certain way, so hopefully that'll work for us as well. And we were in the process of upgrading to level 2. Now that should give us the option to butcher. There we go. And I'm tempted, to be fair. Actually, no, we won't let them have a market stall. We could. Where on earth is my granary? Oh, my granary's quite a small building. We'll need to upgrade that as well. We'll put another family in there, definitely. Yeah, there is some issues there, and we will... No, we'll put 2 in there, and we'll upgrade that as well while we think about it. Storehouse. Yeah, there we are. And obviously people are moving in, so that's not going to be a problem. But then we'll be able to make ourselves some sausages over here, which gives us another food variety. The meat is quite low, but that's just because they're taking meat as kind of a standard thing to do. We do have some spare people over here as well, so we'll pinch them. And I'm tempted to put an extra family in there. We probably need another hunting camp. Wait until we get the point for that as well, where we double the amount of meat produced. That is going to be pretty good for us. But I think that is a good spot to leave this one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.